Are you ready? Because the RedZone Podcast starts now. Welcome to episode 16 of the RedZone Podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Point du jour, and oh boy, how the mighty have fallen. The Calgary Stampeders are now sitting at 4-10. They lost to the Montreal Alouettes 28-11, and it really seemed like they mailed it in. It really seemed like this season is just winding down and getting to the point where it's just like, let's just get to the off season. Let's just get to the end of the season. It was a bad game to watch. Jake Maier went back to his interception ways. I won't really get into the game just because there's not much to get into. Yeah, Jake Maier threw 2 interceptions in the end zone, which is not good at all. The offense kind of seemed very slow and sluggish. It just wasn't the game that you needed to come out sluggish for. It was a game that you needed to win. It was a must win, like I've been saying all week long, and just did not come out great in it. And Montreal was better on offense. They were better on defense. They were getting interceptions. They were getting fumble recoveries. And it was just their game to win. And now Montreal is sitting at 7-7. And I think if they win this weekend, they clinch a playoff spot. So that playoff picture right now, not looking too good for the Stamps. The Elks have a bye this week. The Ticats, well, they face the Stampeders in Hamilton, which they'll be wearing their Indigenous jerseys, or not jerseys, but helmets. The logo on their helmets. I'll show you a picture right now. But yeah, the Stamps, they will have to win every single game from here on out. There is no room for error from here to the rest of the season. There's no room for error. You basically, with that loss, it's basically win every game or you're just not going to make it. And right now, how it's trending towards that 17 year playoff streak. Nope, that's gone out the window. It really seems like it. It really seems like that playoff streak is on the line, and you'll have to win every single game. And what I saw from the Stamps this past weekend doesn't give me incredible hope for this next weekend against Hamilton in the Hammer against, those fans and that defense. So we'll see what happens. Hopeful, I don't really think so. I mean, this could be the end of a very successful era for the Calgary Stampeders. Maybe a kind of a little bit of a rebuilding era. Now, there's not really rebuilding in the CFL. A lot of these teams, they're contending. There's only 9 teams. I mean, a lot of these teams are fighting to make the playoffs. Everyone is still in the playoff picture as of now, so that tells you something. But for Calgary, it's not looking up, and they were last in the CFL power rankings this past week. And that was weird to see because Calgary has always been that team that was Grey Cup or bust. It was Grey Cup or bust every single year. And to see Calgary not at the top of the league or first or second in the league is just weird. I started being a fan of the Stampeders in 2014 and of the CFL in 2014. And the Stampeders were in the Grey Cup or they're in the West Final. One of the two every single year, mostly in the Grey Cup. And this year just felt weird. Now, the only comparable season to this is the 2021 where we started 2-5, but then got rolling and only lost 1 out of our next 7 games. We only lost 1. So, yeah, second half of the year we turned it on there. Only a 14-game season. So that was really concerning when you're 2-5 and only have, 7 more games left to go. But we closed that year out strong, made the playoffs. Should have probably won that playoff game in Saskatchewan, but we didn't. But that was still a good rally second half of the year, and you saw, you saw them really turn it on there. But this year, it's seeming like that's not going to happen. But they'll have to win every single game. You can't really count on teams losing. You just have to win your games. And right now, it may be too late because you needed that Montreal win. I can't stress that enough. That Montreal win was big. You really, really needed it, and you lost it very, very convincingly. I mean, Montreal just ran away with the game, and you really didn't have... There was no real... any consistency. Now, this was going to be a shorter podcast. I was going to make it a bit longer, but I really want to keep a lot of stuff that I want to say to the end of the year when we recap the season and everything that went wrong for the Stampeders, some bright spots, but I really want to keep that into the end of the year. So I'm going to keep all those stats and all that to the end, and then we're into playoffs very, very soon here in about a month. So that's going to be really interesting to see how the CFL pans out and how the standings pans out in the East and in the West. Chad Kelly from the Argos, just speaking on the East Division, the Argos are 12-1. Chad Kelly, it looks like he's trending towards sitting out this game for rest. The Argos are just, I mean, they're at the top of the league by far. They're running away with the East. They already got everything clinched, so now they're sitting Chad Kelly. A lot of people aren't really liking it against Winnipeg that they're sitting Chad, but look, good on them. You locked up almost everything, or you locked up everything, so you're just going to wait and play out the rest of the year. Maybe get him a few reps there in the first or second quarter, but then he will, get ready for playoffs. And Winnipeg, they're playing, I think, at home. I think that game is almost sold out, so it's going to be a good game for Winnipeg as well. They're obviously going to play their starters, Winnipeg and BC. We play those two teams. Calgary does play those two teams at the end of the year. They're both 10-4 right now, so they may be playing their starters at the end, which just looks worse for Calgary. But let's see what they can do. I'll be back here next week to, eventually, do they have fight in them? Do they not? Can they get a 2-game winning streak going that they haven't had all year long? We will see about it. But that'll do it for episode 16 of the RedZone Podcast. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you think about this Calgary Stampeders season. Do you think there's still hope for the playoffs, or do you think that the season is over? Let me know. But that will do it. Until next time, we'll see you later. Peace.